Good evening, good morning, and good night. Welcome to Inappropriate Radio. It's your host, Tashana. Let's get into this. So, hi guys. I hope all is well. I'm so sorry for the noise in the background in advance. But yeah, I think today is going to be the day, right? About the spiritual exchanges that occur during certain sexual acts, especially like molestation, right? Now, if you are easy to offend, if you are not in acceptance with trauma that has happened to you, then this may not be something that you would want to listen to or sit through. If you're looking to gain a better understanding of the spiritual aspects that come with molestation and you can handle the conversation, then please, by all means, stick around, right? Molestation is one of those things that is two things, right? It comes from two things. It's a curse, an actual sex curse, right? The lack of control, just the lack of impulse control when it comes to sex, right? The other side of that is the spiritual deposits that come from that. So it's not just the sex spirit that occurs during molestation, right? So let's say someone is molested. When they take on the spirit of the person who's depositing the spirit in them, they're taking on several spirits, or whichever spirit decides to deposit themselves into the victim. What do I mean? The spirit of molestation is connected to the Jezebel. It's connected to other spirits, right? Not just the Jezebel. But remember, we spoke about the Jezebel and the Jezebel not only being a spirit of sex, right? This is not just an incubus and a succubus. This is a spirit that takes on many forms. It shapeshifts. And what happens is it starts to attack the person that is being molested. Okay? This spirit, like I said, it's like a two-headed beast. Sex, so you're either going to overcompensate, undercompensate, or just be completely traumatized when it comes to sex. So you may become gay, you may become promiscuous, you may not want to have sex at all, you may not be able to conceive, right? Because that chakra may be blocked because of trauma, or something may have been ruptured. You may become wildly and fiercely confused about your sexuality and about life, because what usually happens is the person doing the molesting is... The person doing the molesting is also stricken with illness, so much so that they're unable to control. Now, there's a difference between a person being like a pedophile or child molester and just like a nymphomaniac, right? When you feel the need to sexually or just sexualize innocence, there's a problem. And you need to be willing to identify how far back this spirit goes. For example, I know in my family, I was molested, and I know that I am probably one of the last ones to be molested by this man, mainly because of where we were, right? We moved out of the house. Everyone had been separated. And also the result, okay? I wouldn't say I was the only one who had spoke out about it. And then a few had followed suit. I know I have one cousin who spoke out about it before I did, and she was actually put in a crazy home. Like literally, I'm not lying. So when you come from these stocks where this spirit is being protected, you're gonna have a really hard time healing, because people are gonna come against you, and it's gonna be actually normalized. So now we're speaking of incest, right? This spirit now turning into incest. So that's what I mean about this spirit being connected to so many other spirits, because it's not just trauma, it's not just fear, it's not just sex. It's so many other things that come out of being molested and being attracted or not attracted to your same sex, or just completely confused about your overall sexuality is the main thing. Now, the good thing here is that we are able to have these conversations, and we are able to make sense of ourselves outside of the trauma. If you haven't been able, or just in the space of forgiving the person that has molested you, it's probably because you're skipping a step. Okay? You might be skipping a step. Your first step may be just accepting, right? That this is a spirit that dwells in people in your bloodline, and it has to be broken. Or this is just a person who cannot control themselves sexually, and they are attracted to tainting innocence. Okay? The scariest part is that it can lead to so many different entities attacking one person. So like me, being the youngest or the last person, of the generation, I got all the spirits of everyone, right? Because he had molested us all. So every person before me, I picked up a hint or probably a full deposit of each of those spirits. So one person may hate him, one person may have liked it, one person may feel like they want to go sleep around because they understand what sex is because of being molested. One person may end up turning gay because they feel like men are disgusting. And I want to say women molest children too. Women molest boys and girls too. It's not just men who molest boys and girls. Okay, I want to make sure that we talk about that, because there's this great misconception that it's the uncle and it's the uncle and the grandfather and no. Okay, women do this also, because this is a spirit, and the spirit is not limited to gender. It's limited to nothing, actually, unless you are going to shield yourself, protect yourself, not only in prayer, but just by knowing the spirits that dwell around people. You could send your kid to a sleepover and they can have like some creepy person there. That's a child molester. It doesn't have to be you in your bloodline, in your household. Okay, this spirit is a predator. It lurks for prey, right? To dwell in. You have to remember that these spirits look for homes. They look for vessels. A lot of these spirits are lost. They're wandering. They're stuck in the in-between. They don't have a home. So if these spirits are being cast out, right? Let's just say you have a person like me who understands the spirit world and how these spirits work, right? And then I get molested. Everyone before me was molested. I break the spirit, right? I break the curse. I cast out the spirit. The spirit left my bloodline, but now the spirit is roaming, looking for elsewhere to thrive. Okay, that's how this works. Because if you cast out a demon or a spirit, you can cast it out away from you. But if you are not sending it back to the pits of hell, if you are not asking the Creator to take care of it immediately, if you are not asking God to make sure that this spirit is not allowed to attack anyone else in this room, in this dimension, the spirit will lurk. And it will find a person who is weak, fragile, or spiritually just lacking in any area. From what I was told, my uncle was in the army. He had got his head ran over. A metal plate was put inside of his head, and that's when the abuse started. Now, I don't know. Maybe something happened during the placement of the plate. But I understand that his father molested them also. And I'm not here talking about my family business. I'm just saying that this is a spirit that dwells. It has a lot to do with the mind being demented and the spirit being lost. And if you don't protect yourself, your child is at risk. If you don't protect your child, then your family is at risk. It's that simple. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of happy that I'm not a parent, because this is one of the things that I'm so afraid of, because it happened to me. And it's traumatizing. It makes it hard for you to trust family. It makes it hard for you to trust love. It makes it hard for you to understand yourself in your sexual aspects and your social aspects. And sometimes when you're the black sheep like me, and you speak against these types of things, you're going to definitely be blackballed from everywhere that is anywhere important, or a place that you would consider a place of peace and comfort. Okay? The overall gist here is that you need to understand that the child molestation is a spirit that is linked to not just sex, okay? But the sex spirit that does come out of this is the incubus and the succubus. We get rapists. We get people who believe that incest, being dominant, and I hate to say this, but there are some zodiac signs that are actually subject more than others. I'm not gonna name them. You can, do that research. There are some zodiac signs that are more subjective to this type of trauma, and there are some zodiac signs that are more subjective to picking up the spirit and passing it along. So we want to be able to understand that this is a spirit that is attracted to people who don't have a good spiritual foundation or a good moral compass, or something has happened to them medically, because I can also attest that the people that I know who are molesters has some type of medical thing going on with them, whether it be with the head or the heart or the stomach. There's always something going on with the body medically that's off course. I'm not saying that this is the reason, but I'm saying that is one constant thing that I've noticed amongst people who are molesters. I would like to go deeper with this conversation, but I won't, because then that would be putting personal business out. But before we go, I just want to say, if you have been molested, you have to cast the spirit out. You have to get comfortable and accept that it happened, and you have to understand that that is a spirit that is connected to trauma, fear, hate, lack of self-identity, a bunch of different sex spirits. You want to free yourself, right? So I really do hope and pray that we all learn effective ways to heal, and we prevent these spirits from latching on to the generations after us, okay? I do love y'all. I hope all is well. I hope y'all enjoyed y'all week. I hope y'all enjoying y'all summer. I hope y'all drink y'all water, eat y'all fruit, and mind y'all business. And eat y'all vegetables too, right? And I hope y'all are ready for them babies to go back to school. All right, love y'all.